Let's talk about vampires. Hi, my name's B. This is my romance corner, and today I want to talk to you about some vampire romance recommendations. I'm telling you, these ones all hit. I have been reading vampire romance novels since way back when. I've been doing it for so long. It is my tried and true, always hits genre that I always come back to. It doesn't matter if I branch off into different genres, I want to try new things. If I am having like a dry spell in my reading, if I am getting a bunch of duds over and over again, I will look for another vampire romance novel to get me into reading all over again. Today I'm going to talk about three of the ones that really did it for me in the beginning, that really got me to fall in love with the genre. The first one on my list is Halfway to the Grave by Janine Frost. Halfway to the Grave is about a half vampire, half human hybrid named Cat Caulfield. Cat goes all dolled up in the middle of the night to go trick, trap, and stake unassuming vampires at various clubs and bars. She is out for blood to avenge a sex crime that was committed against her mom, resulting in her birth. When Kat's out one night doing her thing, she runs into our hero, which is a master vampire named Bones. Kat and Bones end up working together to take down a common enemy, which is a vampire named Hennessy who has been into some very shady things. While Kat and Bones are working together, the more time she spends with Bones, the more she ends up questioning everything that she's ever been taught since she was 16 years old about vampires. Are they all soulless demons that deserve to be staked? Her mom would definitely say yes to that. Hence, why Kat has such a difficult time. If she embraces her vampire instincts, her mom probably wouldn't forgive her. If she doesn't, then she'll always be stifling this part of her that makes her who she is. This book was absolutely magical to me. I don't care what anyone says. 5 stars. Bones more or less makes the first book. He is charming, he's cunning, he is funny, he is ruthless, but he does it with such style. He is everything. He is honest to a fault, and he is unapologetically himself. And Kat is more or less the antithesis of Bones. She is clumsy, insecure, wishy-washy, and she jumps the gun far too many times. I've read a few reviews out there whom aren't the biggest fan of Cats, and that's more so due to the fact that she has such a big prejudice in the beginning against vampires and the whole push and pull that she does with Bones and his feelings for her in the beginning. But when she finally lets that go, when she finally decides to let herself do whatever she wants, it's so worth it. You are happy for her, you're happy for him, until the end, that is. Of course, you're left with the cliffhanger. Please read it. Please try this one. This one was funny. This one had action in it. I have read the physical book, but this time I listened to the graphic audio. Please, if you have the means, if you're willing to do it, do the graphic audio. It's different than the regular audio. The person who voices Bones, I don't think they could have cast a better person. It was so good. It truly is like what they say, like a movie in your mind. There was sound effects, there's like atmosphere. You hear like outside, you hear leaves crunching, you hear when a fight breaks out. Every single person in the book has their own narrator. It really was the best experience I could have had while reading this book. Also, read this book if you enjoy cringing like a little bit. Now, for me, cringing fulfills the same need as like laughing sometimes. And I swear to God, our girl Kat puts herself in these situations, puts her foot in her mouth, doesn't think before she acts, and you're just left with these like um secondhand embarrassment sometimes, and you're like, oh no, hilarious. Please read it. The second one on my list is the Chicagoland Vampire series, book one, called Some Girls Bite by Chloe Neal. This one was really good because it had so much humor in it, because our main heroine does not want to be a vampire. She detests being a vampire. She resents the fact that she was turned at all, and you're just following her journey into acceptance of herself, which is really cool. It starts off, she was attacked on a college campus, and her attacker took off, and a master vampire, the head of Cadogan House, finds her, turns her, and she is so upset the second she wakes up. She wants everyone to know that she did not consent to being turned, and she drags her feet for a long time, saying things like, I don't do Fang, and talking about herself as a vampire in third person because she totally disassociates with that part of herself in the beginning. She ends up being named Sentinel of the House, which is more or less like a guard for the house itself, and I think that's really when she ends up having to decide, is she going to drag her feet for all of eternity, or is she going to go full force and try her best at something with what she's got? Merritt is definitely dealing with some things that she wishes she wasn't dealing with. For one, the whole vampiredom. Second thing being that now she has to guard that said house that she doesn't even want to be a part of. Third of all, she's definitely got it out bad for the head of the house, Ethan Sullivan. Ethan is definitely handsome. He should be blonde, tall vampire with green eyes, but he's also uptight and definitely a stick in the mud. Definitely has an authority complex, and he doesn't want to like Merritt at all. He detests the fact that he likes her and wants her. I think in Merritt's point of view, she ended up comparing him to Darcy from Pride and Prejudice, with the fact that he was so blatant about not wanting to like her, but liked her despite how uh, ill-fitting he found her. It's definitely a fun time. Give that one a shot too. The last one on my list is Lover Awakened by J.R. Ward. This is part of the Black Dagger Brothers series. Everyone has their favorite. This one is mine. This hero is the most tortured hero I think I've ever read. Our heroine Bella was kidnapped by Lester's, and after 6 weeks, she was finally found by the Brotherhood. And the only person who seems to understand what she's going through is Zadist, our hero. Z is probably the most tortured hero I have read, and that's what really made you feel for him the whole time. He comes off the most violent in the Brotherhood. He is, before they find Bella, he's killing Lesters left and right. That's the only thing that really gives him any peace until they find her. Zadis has a gentle side that he isn't comfortable letting other people see, such as cleaning up her apartment, which was also the crime scene of when she was abducted, watering her plants for her while they're waiting for her to be returned. Z was a former blood slave, and it was such a traumatic past for him that he can't connect with his brothers, with anyone, especially anyone from the opposite sex. He doesn't even feel like his own body is his, which is like probably the most heartbreaking part. You really felt for him. That's what made you forgive like all of the violent tendencies, behavior. He was just so caught up in not letting anyone find him vulnerable ever again. It made sense that because his trauma was so great, he didn't feel like he was worthy of our heroine. But the cute thing was that our heroine, she knew what she wanted. She didn't want anyone else. There were times when he was trying to push her away to a specific someone, and she just knew. She knew that she didn't want anyone else. She just wanted him, and she was willing to help him, to wait, to be patient. And that's why the book was so good to me. They both complemented each other so well. Our hero has a brother that he doesn't even feel comfortable being emotional with. There's this really funny bit that I wrote down in my reading journal. It says, "Okay, brace yourself." Why? "Because I think I'm going to try to hug you." Feeling like an utter ass, Z pushed himself over to his twin. "Lift your head up, damn it." The two of them froze in the unnatural position. "You know, this was a hell of a lot easier when you were out cold in the truck." "That was you? You think it was Santa Claus or some shit?" It has funny moments like that, and then there's these really cute moments. There's these moments where it really hurts you for him and her. But my goodness, it was just such a good time. Please read it if you have the time. It's only book 3 in the series. I haven't finished it, but I am looking forward to it so much. And that's it for my vampire romance recommendation. If you agree with the books that I've mentioned today, if you have read them before, you love them, let me know in the comments. If I didn't mention something that you think belongs on the list, Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I will give it a heart if I haven't read it before, and you better believe, especially if it's vampires, that I'm gonna be reading it now. Thank you so much for your time. My name's B. This is my romance corner. You're welcome back anytime. I'll see you next time. Bye.